Hello, this is Tanya from Keto Like a Lady, and I am doing the summer collab for the 4th of July. And what I am making is a keto New York style cheesecake. And I've chose this recipe because I really love cheesecake, and cheesecake is something that I've kind of missed on my keto journey. But I found a keto cheesecake recipe that is nice and moist, and it's got just the right amount of sweetness and just the right amount of creaminess to it, because I really like the creaminess of cheesecake, and I think that's the reason why I love cheesecake. So I hope you enjoy this video, and maybe you can make a cheesecake of your own. So for this cheesecake recipe, you need 24 ounces of cream cheese. You're going to need 3/4 cups of sour cream, 3 eggs, 5 tablespoons of softened butter. I melted it a little bit too much. You'll need vanilla extract. I use lemon juice, but the recipe calls for lemon zest. I use lemon juice, and I think it comes out just great. And a cup of, it's supposed to be powdered swerve, but this is actually Splenda, a cup of Splenda. Again, I think it comes out just fine with the Splenda. So what you want to do is you want to take your cream cheese, put it in your mixer, because you want to mix the cream cheese and the butter until smooth. So you got the butter, the cream cheese. Put my beater on here, and then I will mix it until smooth. Okay, so while you're beating the cream cheese and the butter until smooth, you also want to add your sugar. And then have that be nice and well combined. So, and yes, this is my purple KitchenAid mixer that was given to me as a Christmas present a couple of years ago by my awesome husband, because he knows that I like purple. And I got my purple spatula in my purple kitchen. Maybe I'll do a tour one day, because seriously, y'all, it's purple. All right, so then we want to add 1 egg at a time. I know I put them all in here, but if I'm careful, I'm sure. It doesn't say what speed to mix this on, but I'm sure if you just mix it, my KitchenAid says I'm on the 2nd speed, so this seems fine. Now add the other egg in. Okay, and the last egg we will add in. Scrape down the side to make sure that batter is all mixed up. And scrape it off that spatula because we don't want to miss any parts of this. Mix a little bit more. Lock in that bowl. Make sure we don't want that bowl moving around either. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so now we'll add in the sour cream. The sour cream should be room temperature. Basically what you want to do is you want to take all of your ingredients like your sour cream, your cream cheese, and your butter and have it sit out for a couple of hours. Maybe if you know you're going to make this the next day, put it out the night before and then the next morning you can make it. And as a side note, in case anybody's wondering why I have my mixer on a towel, it's because, and I learned this from Martha Stewart, pretty cool. It makes it easier when you want to move your mixer. Okay, so we want 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. That's 1 teaspoon. And because I don't feel like dirtying up another teaspoon, that looks like half. All right, and you're supposed to have 2 teaspoons of grated lemon zest. But like I said, I use the lemon juice and it seems to work just fine. All right, so let's mix the rest of that up. And it doesn't say for how long you should mix it for. It just says to beat until the batter is smooth and well combined. So we'll let that get nice and combined, and then we prepare to bake our cheesecake. Okay, so we're ready to bake our cheesecake. So you really need a springform pan. I had a hard time finding it. I found one at a flea market earlier this year. So you want to get that springform pan. The directions say to use parchment paper and to cut, I think they want you to cut a circle around the bottom. I don't do that. I just take my springform pan and then I spray it with lots and lots of olive oil so that it doesn't stick to the pan. So then you want to take your batter and we want to put it in our springform pan. You also want to, I forgot to add that the instructions say to take tin foil and wrap the outside of the springform pan all the way up to the top, because you're actually going to cook it or bake it in one of those water baths. So after I get all this batter out and everything all nice and smoothed out, and I like this recipe because it has just enough sweetness for me. It's not real sweet like a cheesecake, but it has just enough sweetness for me. And the texture is nice and creamy. I've tried some other cheesecake recipes and the texture was like dry, and I'm more of a texture girl than of like a flavor person. Yeah, I gotta get every little bit. And if I didn't have company here. Okay, yes, I did just taste some with my finger. It's another benefit of baking. So then you want to take boiling water. Oh, I gotta keep this up. And remember to preheat your oven to 300 degrees. Because this is going to bake for about 70 to 90 minutes, so about an hour and a half at 300 degrees. So you want to take your hot boiling water and you want to put it in your roasting pan. And you want to fill it halfway. That's not going to be halfway. I need more. And yes, I know it's not boiling water, but I have very, very, very hot tap water. So you're going to fill that up, fill it, fill it, fill it, fill it, till it's halfway. One more cup. So it doesn't tell you how many cups, it just says until it reaches halfway. All right, so that's about halfway. So remember, you want to put this in a springform pan. You want to use a springform pan. You want to wrap the springform pan, the outside of it, in tin foil. If you have parchment paper, the instructions does say to cut out the parchment paper and put it on the bottom. I don't do that. Put it in a roasting pan. Fill it halfway with hot boiling water. And then you put it in the oven and let it bake for 90 minutes. Okay, and now here is the finished cheesecake. I left my cheesecake in for 70 minutes. And we all know that sometimes your right, and it is done. Here is the cheesecake. That is the finished product. I baked mine for 70 minutes. Some stoves cook at different temperatures. You may not have to leave yours in for 90 minutes. It does say 70 to 90 minutes. Until the cheesecake is set and mostly jiggles. So we got a jiggle going on there. So you want to remove the cheesecake and the springform pan from the roasting pan. You want to do that very carefully. Okay, and then normally what you would want to do is you would want to remove the cheesecake from the springform pan, which you would pop this open. I'm not going to do that because I really don't have any way to keep this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cool in here, and then I'm going to put some more tin foil on top, and then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator to keep it nice and cool. So, and that is the Keto New York style cheesecake. And since it's 4th of July, you might want to get some strawberries and some blueberries and maybe decorate it, you know, and then make it red, white, and blue. I don't know if you want to do like white chocolate, or just leave the, you know, make some red strawberries here, blueberries here, just leave the middle white, and then you have your red, white, and blue for your picnic or cookout or 4th of July celebration or whatever. So I hope you enjoyed my video of my New York keto cheesesteak. I will link the recipe in the description below. I really like this recipe because, like I said, it's creamy, it's not too sweet, and I like texture more than I am more of a flavor type person. So I like my cheesecake to be a nice and creamy texture over being sweet. And this gives me just the right amount of sweetness. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you like, subscribe, and share, and I hope you come back and see some more collab videos and some more recipe videos and some more videos on the keto diet and what I do to lose weight and keep my blood sugar down on a keto diet.